Yes.
Maybe I'm
Austin.
yeah. I kind of disagree a lot. I think that I would know it's wrong and I would do it anyways because I know that I'm selfish and really an ugly person. So things that I have plenty of things that I'd rather not tell you all, and I have my top 10 list of stuff I'll share in a big circle. Yeah, I think I would get retribution on all my enemies, and then I would become a vigilante. Maybe like a Boondock Saints, or maybe just political assassinations, or take power.
I wouldn't tell anyone that I had that power, because I think at that point you could be accused of almost anything, regardless of whether or not you did it. So that'd be the biggest thing that I wouldn't do if I had that power.
But do you think you would be, okay, you'd be secretive, but would you use that power?
Honestly,
Would you be in Austin's camp?
I think so.
Okay.
Just admit it. I mean,
Dave?
I think that I would end up telling people, and I'd get a bit irritated after a while, because I'd be at a restaurant or at the bar, and someone would say, "Hey Dave, turn invisible and go steal that person's pitcher," or something like that. And yeah.
Excuse me all.
Okay.
Excuse me all. She has a
Yeah.
call.
Yeah, I have to go. I'm on 2 weeks.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming. We'll finish the story. We'll tell you the outcome of the story. You're going to find out who you can trust and who you can't.
All right, nice to meet you all.
Take care. Yes, Brooke.
First, I'd say it's debatable whether or not it's actually wrong to take the ring. Archaeologists find tombs and they take the stuff. They're not stealing. I would say I take the ring with no reservations because the guy's dead. He's buried. But I also think, I don't think I would try to hurt my enemies. I do think I would use it. I mean, imagine the connections you could get with a ring like that. I don't think I'd tell anyone though, because people probably try to kill you for it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I do think I would use it for maybe political connections, but I don't think I'd have any moral reservations about taking the ring in the first place.
I have never received that particular angle. That's the first for me. The analogy with the archaeologist. And if Geiges is a really smart guy, then you might, this is going to end up in a museum anyway. Yes, Petra.
I think I would, after taking the ring and discovering it had power, I think I'll use it. There are a lot of stuff I want to do. And, well, probably not in this cave, but yeah. Maybe a little opposite, I don't know. Like, you could use that and you could change a lot of stuff in the world.
Yes, you
One
could.
of them you could help with, reducing poverty. I would do that.
But you're setting yourself up. I want you to think about this. You're setting yourself up to be the judge of what's good and what's bad, even though you're a fallible human being. And what if the decision, this happens all the time in public policy. The decision you make that you think is going to be helpful to so many people ends up actually having unintended consequences. It's called the law of unintended consequences. Has hurt a lot of people. People who meant well, but ended up hurting others in their do-gooding. That can happen too. Sandra.
I think it's ironic that we're talking about power in the form of invisible. Like, invisible. And we're talking about being powerful. I don't get it.
Well, think about Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings. This has had a huge influence on Western literature. Jekyll and Hyde is the same principle. How many of you know the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Why is Mr. Hyde running rampant through the streets of London and getting away with it? Because he knows no one will identify him as the daytime Dr. Jekyll. And so that story by Robert Louis Stevenson is illustrative of what is in all of us, that there are two parts of us. There's the part that wants to be good, that wants to be noble and help if we have power, but there's the other part that is savage and brutal and nasty and ugly, and if we have the opportunity to exercise it with impunity so that we aren't caught the next day, then we are very likely to be unable to resist the temptation to do it. And that's sort of the lesson through here. And this ring is just a sort of a metaphorical way of saying, okay, how would you theoretically become the most powerful? Let me read to you what Glaucon actually says to Socrates here. Short passage. Suppose the just man put on one of these rings, put on such a ring. No man could be imagined to be of such an iron nature that he would stand fast in justice. No man would keep his hands off what was not his own when he could safely take what he liked out of the market, or go into houses and lie with anyone at his pleasure, or kill or release from prison whom he would, and in all respects be like a god among men. Who could actually, really resist the temptation to be a god among people? Now here's the twist. Suppose you want to visit retribution on your enemies, but what if it's your enemy who finds the ring? Now what do? You've all decided. I think everyone at least decided you would take the ring and maybe wear it for a little while. Some of you think you reach a fork in the road, you would do some good. Others, when you felt temptation to do bad, you would get rid of the ring of something, not wear it. But all of you admit that you would take that ring and be like a god among humans. Your enemy now wears the ring. Where's the hope for your life, your property? Wait for mercy. That's what would be a slave. You essentially would be a slave of this person's will. That's one approach. What's another approach? Oh, but they're invisible. They could go to sleep.
Spray everything.
There you go. That's right. Now, Stephen.
Well, I don't understand why you have to kill and do all this. I mean, couldn't you just be a good-hearted person? I mean, this is just theoretically speaking. Do you have to have an enemy that wants to kill you? Are you that bad of a person that somebody wants to kill you when they get you on this ring? What did you do to them in your life?
But this is the thing we learn in life, folks. This is precisely what we learn in life. Bad things happen to good people. And the older you get, the more you understand that it is unavoidable. Bad things will happen to you, even though you think you're perfectly just in that particular case. You'll think, I did not do the wrong that I'm accused of, or I was taken advantage of when I shouldn't have been taken advantage of. That was my last $20 bill. Why did the guy who has all of that money, he already has thousands of $20 bills, why did he take my last $20 bill? Bad things will happen to you. It just does. People have been discussing, debating this idea of theodicy. Why does evil exist if there is an all-powerful, all-loving, all-good God? It's a conundrum. No one has ever found a satisfactory answer to that question. No one. It is an unanswerable question. Why do we suffer injustice, especially when we try so hard to be good? So it's going to happen. Even to a nice guy like you. Maybe the guy just doesn't like the way you looked at it, even though you were just daydreaming. I'm going to get that, Stephen. It can happen. So how do you save yourselves? You make yourself volunteer to be a slave. I'll do whatever you want. Don't hurt me. How else would you protect yourselves?
I'll try and fight. Go somewhere else.
Get away. Okay.
Yeah.
Escape, slavery, or escape. Stephen?
Maybe I would go back to the cave and see if there's another.
There you go. That's right. That's smart. Yes. Nam? Oh, okay. Petra?
I think, if it were me, I'll just try to do my best while I can. And then when bad things happen, just try to think through that. And, wait for something good to happen. Hopefully.
Okay.
It's just like life, it's not gonna be good all the time. So enjoy the good when you have it, and then when you get hit in the face, just try to make it through.
Okay. Kind of a stoical attitude.
Yeah.